So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and if you see a little bit of my chaos on my outfit, it's because my cat suddenly climbed and suddenly couldn't figure out where to really go, and now it's on the ground again because it dropped down like a little idiot, but super cute anyway. So my name is Dex, and we are going to be getting into our last Masters Plus bracket. Now before we end things, I do believe the deadline for all our replays are gone, but if we already submitted your results and everything and there are any issues, please put them again into the replay Discord channel of your respective tournament. So if you're Gold to Diamond, put it there. If you're Masters Plus, put it there, because we want to make sure that every game that we have is cataloged. Guys, if I make a replay pack. So if like I say that one of your tournament VODs are corrupted, might as well try to figure it out why it's like that, and you can send it again. And the thing is, I'm not doing everything, right? I'm not doing everything potentially for round 1. And after this, anyone else can actually cast your other replays because I put them in a replay pack. If you do know anyone you want to send it to, maybe it's ABP between Vic as well as Ryu or anyone else, then you are free to do so. And they are also free to do so. I'm just the first one to do every single round. I get my pick and then everyone else can work on whatever is left. So it just goes to show that the quarantine system now, very interesting. It's a lot more chill. And I can take my time on it. You guys can take your time on it. And of course, when we get to the money-making matches, then that's when we do things live. We do things at the penultimate time. And we do things with the biggest hype. So if there are any issues like that, send nyo lang sa Discord. No problems there. And it should be good to go. But this is our last match of the night, ladies and gentlemen. No more podcast after this. And this is going to be a big one. Because it is a battle, a rematch from Quarantine number 1. Nox versus Paul. And I love it because Paul is back into quarantined. Nux in the meantime looking to get back into at the very least the top 2 slot. And the thing about Nux is he's won every odd numbered quarantine tournament so far, while Ender has won every even numbered tournament so far. So if we keep up with that, with that cycle, then this is Nux's chance to get a crown yet again, to be our first 3-time champion in the quarantine tournament. He's already won a number of different tournaments, including the Battle Royale, so it really goes to show that anything can happen for an amazing player like this. But Paul, in the meantime, he is back with a vengeance. And let's not dilly-dally any longer. It's time to get into our first map. It is Ever Dream LE. So again, it seems like between the two brackets, there's a different focus on what map to go on first. On the Masters Plus, people want quicker games, people want to be more decisive, and Everdream is a perfect map of that experience and that decisiveness at the same time. In the meantime, you see maps like that, or you see that speed zones. Maybe we'll see it yet again into our next one. But for now, let's get into the game. Let's get into game number 1 in our last upper bracket round 1 match to broadcast for the night. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, and no, this is not Quarantine Tournament number 1. This is a rematch all the way into Quarantine Tournament number 5. Welcome back, Commanders, as we are going to be getting into Everdream LE, and this one this time is going to be a ZVT. Introducing first, here on the top right of Everdream LE, he is the 2-time champion. He is the Battle Royale champion, the second best player in the Philippines. Can't even give the first a run for his money. The Aodai man has been in the regionals here, there, and everywhere, looking to improve, looking to impress, and looking to medicate. It is our Red Zerg, Daks. Nux, a very educational player, always hard on not only other people but himself. He's always trying to analyze so many different things, and that gives him the edge in so many ways. A thinking man's game is how Nux plays, and he's not bad at all with the reactions as well. But his opponent has been one to put people for a run for their money, and he is kind of one of the scariest Terrans into the bracket. He is, well, someone you should know from the old days, someone who's still here and around. It is our Green Terran, Paul. Now, Paul, kind of young gun as well, but it is still that veteranship all the way back, dating into the early parts of SCPH. And Paul versus Nux. We saw this yet again in Quarantine Tournament number 1, which Nux won against Paul. But Paul was, well, the first and only Terran top 3 placer, I believe, as the rest were Zergs between Nux and Ender, and then Byagster taking third on the Protoss pretty much every single time. So it goes to show that this is the man who can break these chains. Because since Quarantine Tournament number 1, I don't remember him being able to play all the way till now. So welcome back to Paul, and we'll see what you got into a bio-based meta. But here we are on Everdream LE. Nux, I believe, did go for the hatchery first, and will be getting that pull as well. He's looking to, at the very least, angle for a third, while Paul has decided to make a summoning circle on the upcoming third base and try to summon a big monster to get in the way that he will have to shut down. But it is gonna be... it just goes to show that, you know, it feels that this is a match back at home. This is a match that we have seen many times all throughout the SCPH scene, not only this year but also in years past, and it's great to see these two guys face off yet again. But enough about them, and let's go into the game. It is gonna be the 1-1 expand here for Paul so far. He's going for the racks into the factory, and in the meantime, Nux is gonna be happy to get that third. He's already protecting that third, putting that queen out and about. This is the drone getting shot in the face, but it doesn't matter. It has a hull. It's like, okay, cool. And he turns to the hatchery instead. I wonder what that looks like, to turn into a hatchery in front of someone. Like, how does it look to turn into a building? Because you see the drone, right? It's like circling around. So it just turns into a mush and decides to become a building instead. But hey, besides that, Queens right now going for the creep tumor, spreading it over. I like this a lot from Nux. This is a ZVT, so he doesn't need to be wary of how he spreads his creep. All he needs to do is make it like a tree and go every single branch that he wants to go on. For now, though, Metabolic Boost is going to be going online. Next is taking, of course, that worker lead. But Paul, in the meantime, has mules to mitigate any kind of advantage. And it is going to be the 1-1-1 onto base. And this is old school stuff from Paul. Banshee Cloak, here we go. A while ago, we saw Terran make it work, especially when there were no scans available on the energy side. But this time, he's facing off a very renowned Zerg player in Nux. And in all honesty, he is one of the two favorites to win it all every single time. This is not just biases, this is just how their experience is, and how both Ender and Nux are amazing, not only in the local scene, but also in the regional one as well. For Nux though, he's flying on around, he gets that Carapace, he sees a tech lab getting a research, so he is expecting Banshee Cloak very soon. That tech lab on the Banshee, that is just so easily cloaked, and it really just goes to show the know-how here from Nux so far. He's waiting for the best opportunity to drop down those spore crawlers, and he's doing it right now as soon as the Banshee comes on out. And it's interesting how battlecruiser rushes have just fallen out of favor so fast compared to, well, before. It's all about Marines now. It's all about Marines. It's interesting, because how Terran looks like this time, it's bio for sure, but what they do is, it's like they go window shopping on a factory in a starport, right? You get a tech lab on it, you get one of each unit that you like, and just say nah to the rest. You get maybe a Cyclone, you get a Siege Tank, you get a Raven, and you know, it's just pretty fun to get whatever the hell you want. But years passed, and you know, we see years pass indeed, with the Banshee here going for the pokes, but Nux is already in position. 3 of these queens, and at the very least, the Banshee able to get the hell out of there in time. Nux, though, in the meantime, that Scouting Overlord has been a hero to really stop any kind of shenanigans there. But Paul is not one to go all in on a single strat. He's going for some really good macro so far. 5.5 minutes, he's getting his step back online. He also has reactors all around for these racks, so he can get more and more of these units per se. +1, though, going to be going online here for Paul so far on both sides. And well, here we go with Nux, bringing in his own links and looking to go for the harassments. Still though, Queens stopping any kind of flank here from Paul. He wants to go for a quick little incineration of any kind of mineral line there. But in the meantime, Nux sees a big block in the way. Paul, future-proof at its finest. He's not going for the supply depot wall that can actually hurt you in the long run. He decides to go for the command center in the way so he can go for the third and make an opening if need be. Queen though versus Banshee. Who will win? Banshee will survive, and now it's time to go for the pokes yet again. Nux though doesn't want to uproot his spore crawler as of yet. Way too dangerous in an instance like this. So instead, brings in the Queen, gets one poke, second poke doesn't happen, and it will survive to live the fight yet again. The both sides stalling really well. I like how Paul is still making the Banshee Cloak work in a way, even though it's not going to be as decisive and game-changing as before. It just is some harassment here and there since he invested in it anyway. In the meantime, with the command center in the way, he's just able to expand accordingly at the same time, so keep his natural also defended. So overall, a net positive here for Paul. He's looking for his third base. Nux in the meantime going on his forts. Good know-how here from Nux, looking to stay ahead of his opponent. But overall, I do believe that this game is kind of even. I'd say Nux has a slight advantage overall, but it's just really how he's able to maximize and squeeze every little bit from the Zerg race. In any case, though, it's time for the setup yet again. And you can see how SimCity is so easy to build. Such a quick expansion here for Paul, and it really goes to show that he has not skipped a beat after skipping 3 tournaments. But armor gonna be +1 going online. There we go, a little bit of brawl, drop play in order. And it really goes to show, if you can do a very, very decisive timing attack on the Marines, then you can actually catch your opponent out. But not like this, because Nux has everything he needs and more. The medevac with so many Marines will go down there. And speaking of that lone Marine, he's a lone ranger trying to go for the brawl. These Mutas are just flying on away, not giving him his revenge whatsoever. This Marine wants to find his brothers in arms, but unfortunately, he will just die there behind the tree. And goodbye to the lone survivor. What a drama in StarCraft. But besides that, Paul is just keeping on up with the +2. For some reason though, why are the Banshees trying to mine minerals? Banshees, this is not your job. I was kidding before, but they turned around to go for the command center. Paul, what is happening, Paul? Are these the new workers I was not informed of? But hey, Combat Shield will be going online. A good number of racks here for Paul, actually. He has 5 of them, I believe, on the main base, which is a solid number for 3 bases overall. And here we go again with the Mutas, though, trying to fly on in. These Marines right now going for the chase. And Nux is just microing on away to get the hell out of there. Paul, though, in the meantime, at the very least, a good number of Marines all over. And this is a 4-base Muta play here from Nux so far. Question is, though, what's the plan now for Nux? He's going into an Infestation Pit. Should enable him to get that Hive Tech research. Can actually go for Infestors to help him out a little bit with the Fungal, but I believe that Ultralisk is the best way to go about things and get Adrenal Glands for the Lings on the ground. Still though, Paul, adding things up to his collection from 5 racks to we are gonna get 8 of them into the field. And it is just Paul extending the industry here and now. But for Nux, in the meantime, it's all about the pokes and the prods yet again. He's getting a few kills here and there for free. And this might actually put Paul on edge. He's down right now by 30 army. And he's kind of down on the economy here. So it's a bit of a struggle here for Paul unless he can get a really good drop out of nowhere to shut down the lead that his Zerg opponent has. But now the flood of Lings are there. And Nux is looking very overwhelming yet again. Classic Nux having all these units ready to go. Looking to stay onto the high ground so far. And in the meantime, circumnavigation, my name is Nux, as he goes to the south side and is gonna hamper this main base instead. Missile turret, meet Mutaball, meet missile turret. Goodbye, missile turret. Nice to meet you right there. Main base right now getting torn apart. There we go with some of the Marines, but I do believe these Mutas can handle everything they throw at it. But Paul still trying to keep the fight alive. Nux in the meantime looking for the pokes and the prods yet again. Turns around to get some free pickouts here and there. Easy stuff here and now for our Zerg, and it's gonna be the Banelings getting a smash onto this third base. Everything getting torn apart down on the ground, and this is Paul. You know he tries to go for the dotted line, but this time he is signing his own death, and Nux will take that first victory here in this best of 3. Clean one there though from Nux, really going to show how experienced he has become so far, and he took the lead and never let Paul actually do anything against him. There were some good instances from Paul. He tried to harass, he tried to expand a little bit earlier, he tried to go for a normal attack, but Nux is always aware of what's going on, and it's ridiculous how he answered back every single time. So Nux will take that victory, and he is just one away to move on into the next round. But our game is not over yet. Our match is not over yet, because we are going to be getting into our second map, which might work out a little better here for Paul, as we are going into Deathaura LE. So in this map this time, there are those edges here and there that you can go for the drops. There are those speed zones allowed to run on away, but Nux can be scary with a link-based composition, and we've seen him do wonders with link-based compositions before. Not even during the patches itself, it's just how he controls those links very, very well, and he knows when to play the aggression, he knows when to play it passive, and something he's also been able to do has been the fact that he's been able to decide when to go pool first, when to go hatch first, and actually be more successful compared to when I was able to see his career going on the uptake yet again, where it was really hatchery first for him a lot more. I was like 9 times out of 10, hatchery first was the way to go for him. But hey, it really just goes to show that everyone is evolving. here in the SCPH scene, including all of our members in the community in the Discord, which has happened, and as well as the quarantine tournament. It's a new setup, and again, guys, I do want to know what you guys think about this at the end of everything. But now, let's get into game number 2. It's time to see if Nux can wrap things up. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Is this gonna be the decider, or will we go into a game number 3? This has been your round 1 official broadcast of the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 5. And you can expect, at the very least, every single last day of the rounds, there's gonna be a broadcast like this, or if there's not enough replays, then we'll do it the day after. But introducing first, the man, as we said, the odd number champion, one of the best, if not the best, in all honesty, in the PH scene. He's on the top left, he's up top by 1, and he's looking to bring in the death here in Deathaura. It is our Red Zerg, Nux. Now, I do believe Nux has had an update in his life. I'm trying to remember, but he has recently joined a team, and it has so many different members here and there, so it seems like it's an international affair. And really good congratulations to him, because I cannot remember for the life of me what the team name is, but it's just amazing. I saw a Singaporean player also join that team, so it really goes to show that they are for real, that they are looking to support some of the best in the SCA region, all the way from EU, if I remember correctly. So congratulations to Nux with his new team. But in the meantime, okay, Paul, what happened here, Paul? What happened here, Paul? Your SCVs died, and that is that. Goodbye. We haven't even introduced him, but the man who failed the cheese, it is gonna be our Green Terran, Paul. So what happened there was basically 3 SCVs died because the drones were pulled at the right time, and Nux stops the 2 proxy racks immediately. So good on him. You know, I'm trying to do my research, guys. I'm just trying to do my research, and then stuff like this happens every single time I turn on a web browser during a tournament just to see what I'm talking about is correct. Something like that happens. So, you know, unfortunate, but GDA team, there you go. Congratulations to Nux, part of GDA team right now. But Paul will be playing from behind a little bit. He's going for the second base immediately, while Nux is very, very secure of what to do. He is going to send a flood of links immediately. He will be bringing more and more of those pairs online as much as possible, and at the very least harass his opponent to prevent that natural from coming online anytime soon. So Paul, he is forced to play on the 1-1 expand again, but not in the same kind of, well, timings he would have initially liked. He's going for that lone marine behind. Can't even go for the Reaper, I believe, as of yet. He doesn't have that Reaper, so it really goes to show that getting caught out there by Nux just put such a big facepalm on whatever he wanted to do so far. And these are the Zerglings right now, looking to climb up on top of this ramp. But Paul is answering back with that 1 Marine shooting from the high ground. And, you know, these Zerglings are like, we'll get you next time. Don't worry about it, because we are in the lead. And this is Nux going on 3 base and just hitting this SCV where it hurts. It will go down. And Paul can't even getting scouting that he wants. It's so difficult here for Paul. He does not know exactly what's going on that main base. And sure, he's on 2 base right now, knows his opponent is on 3, but he's forced to go for the scan just because he can't even make it there. That's the problem without getting that initial Reaper. You're not really sure what's going on, and Paul has to play it safe rather than be sorry of a surprising all-in from Roaches or something like that. So at the very least, this gives Paul some space to breathe. Since Nux is going for the macro, we're gonna see a similar game where he's gonna get a really big army and just overrun his opponents no matter what. So Paul has to take this game in that mindset. He has to understand that he's gonna be playing from behind from the get-go, and he's gonna try his best to work from there. Hellions, though, gonna get brought out in the bats. Nux, in the meantime, though, can have this Overlord here onto the side. Question is, how will this pan out here for our Zerg? Here we go with these queens. Looking to just spread that creep as much as possible. At the very least, Carapace is online, and Nux again is gonna try to get the same kind of information that he did a while ago. On that last game, Carapace was such a big upgrade for Nux because he was just able to tell exactly what was going on. But since Paul goes for Viking this time, he knows there's no gonna be bad shenanigans. There is gonna be anti-air though, so this Overlord scout will fall, and Nux will have to go for a cycle of Overlord, sure. But it really goes to show, it's just all about that intel, all about that know-how. And both of our players understand how important it is to know what is going on the other space. You know, lessons of subtle things in the Masters Plus bracket, which can kind of change the pace of things. But Nuxnet now gonna be on the top right here, and he's just looking to make sure that he has every single angle that he needs protected. Deathaura, though, kind of scary that these trees are all the way down on the ground. And unfortunately, things like this, you can't really cross them. Could have been really cool to see potentially them fall on down. Besides that, you know, these are the zones that make things a lot quicker, and it's all about speed boost and all the like. We'll see though if Paul can get better traction control here from a V8 engine, move over to a V12 instead. We do see the call supply though, and Paul has to be careful. He's kind of slipping up on his build order because of that initial 2 proxy. And whenever I see call down supply, I just feel like it's a waste because you can get so much more with some mules there. But it is what it is, and apparently, if I talk about it, it happens. Paul gonna decide to whip out the battlecruiser. So this means that Paul is kind of playing from a Tails all the time kind of setup. But the problem here is when this fire is online for Nux, this can be pretty scary for that BC, because it's just a natural progression to play in the air right now for the Zerg. 3 base Muta is the way to go, and you can just easily make that Corruptors instead if you need to defend against BCs. Really going to show that a BC rush isn't as effective as before. And at the same time, since the nerfs and the tactical warp and all the like really hurting the BC there, the question is, what's the plan here for Paul right now? As this is the Viking hampering a few more overlords here and there, putting Nux on a supply blocks plate. But these queens are all the way in front of the map, and he's just going for more and more creeps, so this has to be cleanup crew here, courtesy of Paul. Goes for the scan right now, looking to get rid of as many of these tumors as possible. And Paul dropping these creep tumors as well onto the ground. Nux, though, in the meantime, just gonna get all of these things already moving on over to the other side. And we'll find out if these Zerglings can actually get some value here onto the natural. +1 Carapace is gonna be coming up soon. And +1 Flyers is next on the list. Hooks, though, will be online. +1 onto the melee as well. So it really does seem like it's a cookie cutter build here for Nux to stay on the 3 base Ling Yuta. He's going for a 4th, but the BC is here. As we said though, it's a relic kind of build, and more of these mutas already looking to get into the fray. Nux in the meantime defending with the queens as well. Good transfusions to keep the mutas alive, and the harassment is just on point. The BC only gonna get 3 kills so far, and it just has to get the hell away from there. The laser batteries though getting the damage on. The mutas will struggle, of course, to try and go for the mano a mano fights. And the BC gonna be able to get the hell out of there, but at what cost? It's a big investment there for Paul. He goes for the fusion core, and he gets a BC, and Nux is just like, okay, you're getting something like that, then I'm gonna get another base. 5 bases here for Nux. He's looking to play the same old game that he knows to play. It's just overwhelm his opponents for an amazing lead and destroy him systematically from there. Mutas though now looking for the harassment yet again. Trying to poke a few of these SCPs here and there. Good pickoffs here from Nux. From drones to mutas, he can do the same thing to the same effect. Absolutely impressive stuff there from our Zerg. Although for the time being, it's just such a big infestation here for our Zerg. Nux is all around his part of the map. This hive is getting bigger and bigger as we go, and upgrades are absolutely abound here for Nux so far. Laretech is the way to go though. Banelingness is there. I don't believe he has a Roach Warren here and now, so it's all about those links on the ground. But this Mutaball is looking pretty scary. Moving on around, BC's trying to respond in kind, but cannot make it in time. And you can see the synchronicity of how Nux is getting these upgrades. All of them gonna be coming online at the same time, so his timing attack is not only on the ground, but also on the air. Ridiculous stuff. Nux is just showing us how to really do things here and now, but it's still Paul surviving with these BCs. Yamato Cannon gonna be next on the list, and Thor is here. I like this for Paul. He's actually going to go for the mech playstyle, so it really goes to show that Paul right now is experimenting with what to do. You'd expect him to go for the bio similar to the last game, but no, he gives it up, goes for the big burly units. Question is though, is this going to be effective against the upcoming links there later on? But for now, I do believe Paul just wants to minimize the amount of space he's using, because he's calling down the supply on these depots. Not really going for that many mules, and at the very least, he can go for the 3rd here if he feels like he can get some space created. But the problem right now is Nux is almost at 200. He's at 96 workers, 96 army. Not a bad number whatsoever for our drone count. And it really feels like for Nux, he's looking for the economy. Usually he's stuck at 80, 85, but when you're at the 90 mark, that just means that you're sacrificing a little bit of your space on your army to make sure that you have the big economy. And it just means that Nux is happy to sacrifice units here and there, provided he has enough of these units here and there to keep alive, and that's GG. That's GG. We don't even see the big fight going on. Nux gonna end that one just by pure sheer will, pure influence. And Paul knows that his build is gonna struggle heavily against whatever Nux is gonna bring. So this will give Nux our 2-0. Kind of a whimper in all honesty to end the matchups like that. But that is our second and final Masters Plus brackets. And thank you guys for all the support for the quarantine tournaments number 5, round 1. We will have round number 2 starting in just a bit. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Some great games from every single side of the bracket. Gold to diamond, 4 of those games. Absolutely amazing, 4 of those matches showing on up. And it's the same thing here on Masters Plus. But in the end, we have our winners. Congratulations to Dion, to ExoGLG, Exoskeletor, as well as Snapcaster. Moving on into round number 2. And in the Master side, congratulations to Sifu and Nux, who won it out and just move on yet again on their Zergs. But there we go, guys. This is our score recap for this match. Nux gonna get that 2-0. And starting tomorrow, you are all allowed to play your round 2 games. So don't forget, the quarantine tournament number 5 is a different format. We're doing it for the month of September. We're looking to make sure that everyone has time for it. And we'll see if this format actually works out and we can get a bigger prize pool. It might be a lot better than cramming it all in a weekend. Because there are so many other tournaments that you can do that for. And this just feels that our community stays together for the whole month and more and more and more. This is what the Philippine scene is all about. And that was some really good games. But I feel like round number 2 is going to get better. And you can expect me to do this kind of stream as well yet again. Probably 6 matches is a good number. I didn't expect 6 matches to take this long. It is almost a 4-hour stream, so it's a lot of coverage in all honesty for a round 1. So, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting, it's tiring, it's taxing, but it was all worth it. But congratulations again to our winners. And don't forget, guys, the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 5 is brought to you by Pure PC and Block 01. This is presented to you by DLS Missile, Daks, as well as IS Buhay Productions. For our Gold to Diamond, we do have the smaller pot pool as well as this keyboard, courtesy of Pure PC from Fantech, the K613, something easy to use. And on the Master side, you get the bigger pot pool, and we will continue all the way till the end of the month. But there you go, guys. This is it for our stream. If you guys didn't get broadcasted and you're still moving on to the tournament, don't worry. You still have another chance. It's all about luck of the draw. And sometimes if I see a matchup that's amazing, then of course I'm going to go for it. Those best of 3s going to 3 games and going for the long haul, then you already know that might be in the cards. Also, though, it really just depends on some factions here and there. Maybe some names I have seen haven't really been featured so far. So in the end, it's just all about a little bit of the randomness, a little bit of luck, and all about impressing every single one in the community. If you can make it all the way, then we'll be doing you live. So you already know, if you want the maximum exposure, just make it to the end of your bracket. But this has been an amazing time. And don't forget, wait for the updates there onto the Discord for our tournament for our round number 2. DLS Missile has been an amazing creator of the package, as well, of course, as the admin of all of this, making sure that we're going to get these sponsors and AVP. These guys can cast pretty well too, so it really goes to show that our community is just getting better and better. But that's going to be it for me here in the Roundabout broadcast. Thank you guys for tuning on in to all of our games, and thank you for everything that, for all of you sending them in as well. So after this stream, I will be uploading all of the replays to the replay pack side. So I'll just put them there. I'll put them in the Discord as well to make it very easy, and you guys can do whatever the hell you want with it too, especially for the games that weren't broadcast as of yet. Hopefully though, any games that are missing, we can fill up. And thank you guys for supporting the quarantine tournament number 5. We had 4 successful weekends so far. We'll try to do the whole month this time and figure something out. And it's been a pretty good success. I do like that people are sending them in. Now, sure, replays aren't, I think the only detractors replays aren't that exciting per se when you know the result, but seeing how they get there is fun. And don't forget, we still do the finals live, so there is going to be that tournament field that is still going to be the big guns there, and it's still it still is really all about that pressure to get that victory and all about the best of the best in the PH StarCraft scene. But it's been fun. It's been great. I've been Dax. Thank you guys for tuning on in to this evening of StarCraft 2. I'll see you guys into round number 2 when everything is set and done. And thank you guys for giving this one a chance. Hope to see you again into the next one with more of your friends. And this has been our first broadcast of Quarantine Tournament for 5, the round 1 games.